wake him up.
He can do this contest remote.
He hates that. He hates that excuse. Well, we can do everything remotely.
All right, let's get into the Giants.
Do you want to? God, that was bad yesterday.
Do you want to? Of course I want to.
You want to? Logan Webb, man. I'm concerned, Joe.
Well, what are you concerned about?
Okay, well, he did. I want to make this clear. All right? I'm concerned that he's injured and we're continuing to put him out there when he's clearly injured. And he's talking about it.
Why would you say that he's injured?
Well, he said he's dealt with it for a while, this knee issue, he's calling it. A knee issue. But he's not using it as an excuse. This is the quote from yesterday after the game, in which Logan Webb lasted 4 innings, gave up 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and the Padres beat them 10-5. This is the quote from Logan Webb. Do we actually have the sound of it? Do we? Thumbs up? We'll get in a second. Doesn't matter. He was short with the media yesterday. He said it lasted like 2 minutes. He was pissed. Quote, I've dealt with it for a little while, but it's still no excuse. That's it. So, I mean, he's not using it as an excuse.
Did he bring up the knee unquestioned, or did someone know that he had a lingering knee thing? Because this is the first time hearing about a knee.
It's a good question. This is Logan Webb talking about it.
No, no, not an excuse for anything that happened out there.
So it was actually Vitello that brought it up to the media, and then Logan was asked about it. And you know Logan Webb, he's a bulldog. He's not going to use anything as an excuse. He's not going to do that. He's built different. I understand that. He doesn't have to use it as an excuse. I'm just using my own 2 eyes, Joe, and so are you. Something's off. Something. I mean, this is a guy that's been a Cy Young candidate for like 3 straight years. He's been a baller in the National League and the MLB at large. 270 innings pitched, 204 innings pitched, 216 innings pitched. That leads all of Major League Baseball the last 3 seasons. That being said, I think it's fair to question, are we starting to see the wear and tear of all those heavy workloads that he's done the last 3 years? Do I sound like a hater when I say that?
So before the All-Star break last year, he had a 2.94 ERA, and opponents were batting about 250 against him, which is kind of high for him over the last couple of years. After the All-Star break, again, still relatively good numbers, 3.65 ERA, opponents batting almost 285. I mean, that's 40 points over league average. Not good.
No.
And so it's been trending this way in a while. Now, is this a blip in the radar, or is this a sign of things to come for him moving forward? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt over the body of work, and I'm going to say, as of right now, it's concerning, but I don't think it's some long-term sweeping indictment on who he will be moving forward. But you cannot sit here as a Giants fan and say, hey, we're going to bounce back and fight back into this wild card race without Logan Webb. Like, that's a tall task. Absolutely. And, you look at his month of April, he actually had a good month. 3.27 ERA overall. I know the results weren't great. They were 1-5 or 1-4, excuse me, in his starts. But you go against Philadelphia. He was coming off probably his best game of the year, I would argue. And the Phillies are playing a lot better as of late. 7 innings, 7 hits, just 1 earned run. Prior to that, against the Dodgers, 7 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. Pretty freaking good against that team, right? And then he got the win against the Nationals, 3 earned runs. Baltimore gives up 4. Wasn't a great start there. And then against the Mets, obviously, he kind of shut them down, even though they lost that game late. So it's not like he's been trending like awful heading into this one. It's just that it's noticeably different this year than it's been the last couple seasons. Well, and I think that's what Giants fans see. I would argue it started looking a little like suspect toward the end of last year, right? Just in general. It wasn't the same. Now, I had a long talk about last year about how I don't want my guys pitching in the All-Star game for a variety of reasons, because things happen in those All-Star games, and then it feels like, not everyone, but it does feel like some guys get touched up and then they're never the same. Sure. I also don't like people pitching in the WBC. You've been staunch on that. You don't like that. Here's my thing. If I'm paying you and I'm the team and I'm a Giants fan, like, do I care about my country? Well, yeah, but do I really care? Like, not really. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, like, I mean, in the sense of, like, winning the WBC.
that doesn't really matter.
We don't really care.
The Giants override, for me, the USA team.
Sure.
Just in this sport, all right?
It's not the World Cup of, like, what soccer.
Just like I wouldn't want to see, like, Brock Purdy or Nick Bosa play on the flag football team, for the United States. Like, for who, for what?
It does nothing for you.
It does very little for me. Now, individually, I hear their arguments, but, like, who's his main employer? It's the Giants.
Yeah.
Right? And
They're the ones cutting off the check. Yeah.
Everybody was losing their minds regarding Tariq Skubal and him being wishy-washy on wanting to be on the team, not on the team. I don't know. Did anyone see what happened this week?
Yeah, hurt.
He's out like 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
Now, you could say they're unrelated. I would say, no, they're actually very related. And I'm not talking about the injury being related. I'm talking about the mindset. And what I meant is these pitching arms are so fragile. One throw, Budo, one throw, boom, out 3 months. One throw, Hayden Birdsong, out 2 years. It's so fragile. It's so difficult that I always go risk reward. And for me, like, if I am running the team, the reward of whatever you think the WBC is, both individually and for the game as a whole, does not outweigh the risk of the investment that I have into someone like Logan Webb. Now, is it all because of the WBC? No, I'm just saying it's in there. It's in the mix. I got natural wear and tear. I've got innings logged, which relative to his peers, he's logged a significant amount of innings. I've got ABS. I've got who's catching on a daily basis because you know that he really likes Pat Bailey. I've got spider tack. I've got natural decline. Yeah. Like, there's like 10 different things. If I were to put bullet points on why is he the way he is, it could just be a rough stretch. That could be it too. Yeah. Or this particular team hits him well. But if you don't think the WBC is in there, like, I just think you're being naive. Well, it's one of the many factors.
I think it could be one of the many factors, as you're saying right now. The factor, no. But that's not what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, if you're just going off what's different this time around compared to the last 3 seasons, it would be that. Because if you're just going off history, what was the constant every year? Well, there wasn't a World Baseball Classic. The leading up to this, the last 3 years is what I'm saying, where he led Major League Baseball in innings pitched. So Logan Webb yesterday in the loss, 4 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs. Are you concerned, Giants fans, about your ace? And if he can't be right this season, I mean, the depth you didn't even have at starting pitching becomes incredibly thinner as they option Trevor McDonald yesterday as they get Joel Peguero back up to the big squad. So, So they can ill afford for him to continue to struggle like he did yesterday. Now, if he does that for a second game in a row, Joe, I think that's when, not panic, but the ears will perk up a lot more.
Here's my whole thing, and we'll move past the WBC. I don't want to be hung up on it. Sure. I'm not trying to be hung up on it, but I understand the fret of the organization thinking about their player and their investment long term. He had 2 starts, 2 wins, almost 9 innings pitched, which isn't a lot. It's not about that. What it is about for me is how stressed out your body is at a time of the year that you're really in a ramp up, like a slow build, okay? He had 2 starts before March 15th. That's 3 weeks or so from his normal clock of his body of when he needs to be ready. And would we all agree that, like, watching Logan in those starts, in those WBC, he's pretty amped up.
Yeah.
He's pretty fired up. Now, it's not the end-all, be-all. But again, as I list all these different things, natural wear and tear, innings logged, ABS might be in there, spider tack might be in there, meaning from a couple of years ago, and natural decline, which no one wants to bring up. Not everyone pitches like Verlander into their 30s, like a megastar. Right. Like that, it's very rare. Most guys actually hit a wall, and he's been relatively injury-free over his career. Is this just a blip in the radar? Have teams figured him out a little? Does he have too many catchers behind the plate? I mean, it's been primarily Pat Bailey when he goes out there, and yesterday was someone different. Is this just an outlier? Joe, I'll listen to anything at this point, but you cannot tell me the WBC isn't one of like 10 or 11 different factors.
It could be. I'm not going to dismiss it easily and just say, you're crazy. The World Baseball Classic
had no effect. Yeah, I don't want to hear this. It had no effect.
It could have.
Yes, and I'm not blaming it too, by the way.
I do think another interesting angle at 888-957-9570 is the number you can call or text. Also, we are streaming on YouTube, and you can find us on the free Odyssey app as well. Talking about Logan Webb and just this team overall and just the depth and lack thereof. Yesterday hurt because you're used to Logan Webb starts giving you at least a chance to win, Joe. A chance. That's what you come to expect. Not saying they're going to, because what have we called Logan Webb the last couple seasons? Matt Cain 2.0.
Yeah.
Because he pitches a gem and they still lose, 3-2, 3-1, 2-1, 5-4, something like that. So I can't even bank on Logan Webb starts keeping me in the game anymore. Because, the Giants yesterday, Joe, gave him a 4-1 lead and just got erased in the fourth inning.
Yeah.
They were hitting him around, and he was having success against Machado and Merrill. Then Bogarts obviously had the home run, and Tatis ropes a double, and things got away from him yesterday. It's just frustrating if I'm a Giants fan right now. After the high of that win on Monday, it's like, great, can we get this series? We got Logan Webb on the bump. We have a good position to sweep them maybe, going up against the Pirates before going on the road against the Dodgers. It was a punch in the gut for a team that really needs to start building momentum.
Think about the guys that we've been talking about a lot in the last couple days. Devers, Adames, Chapman, highest paid guys.
Yeah.
Logan Webb, in terms of importance on this team, is higher than at least one or two of these guys for their overall team success. So if I factor in Devers is Adames is Chapman is and then you throw Logan Webb in there, well, the 2026 team has no shot to compete.
I agree, and I want to.
That's the bigger issue today.
Duke and San Bruno will get to you on the other side. 888-957-9570 is the number. Giants fall back to 8 games under 500. They are 14-22 on the year after falling against the Padres. They'll have the rubber match today at Oracle Park.